This video is not suitable for audiences under 13 years of age.
Kill. Double kill. Triple kill. Titan Slayer. Godlike.
Hello everyone, Mixfant Gaming here. Welcome to my channel. Today we're taking a look at some more test server action. This is the remastered version, still the what they call the low definition or the performance model. I am actually on my higher end device this time just because I have gotten sick and tired of all the lagging choppiness that I have with my older device, even though Pixonic says the remastered version, the LD version, the one that's on the test server right now, is supposed to be better optimized for older devices, and that is apparently not the case. Maybe next week I'll go back to my older device just to see how it reacts, if it made any improvements. But for today, I am going to run it on my newer device. So what have they done in this test server? They've added some more bots to look at, so let's quickly look at it here. First off here, we have the Giftbringer Fenrir. This was, I believe, around the Christmas event. It wasn't this year, it was the last year's Christmas event. This is one thing I actually want to mention. Most events that have a special edition robot has eventually found its way into the super chest. I think this is one of the few bots that have a special edition that has never materialized into the super chest. The only way that I'm aware of that you could get this bot was from the event, and that's it. So Pixonic, if you happen to listen to this, it'd be nice if you bring some of these into the super chests that have not had the opportunity to be there and for people to obtain. I personally, I don't have one of these. I would like to have one. I just would not run it because I actually think it's ugly. It's supposed to be basically Rudolph in a Fenrir model, and I would never run it. I like my Fenrir the way it is, although I don't run it anymore because of the Titans. Anyways, that being said, we also have flame weapons. So now we have igniters and embers on the test server. So we'll be looking at those. The next spot we have is the Hades. Running the Dragon Blaze as well as an Ember. And if you go into the 3D view, I have no idea what paint job that is. I don't recall the Hades ever having a paint job anywhere like that. And like last week's test server, the paint jobs, the lighting is completely washed out. It's way too bright. They haven't dialed it back with which is what they think they should be doing. Last week they did something and the colors were just off on all the bots and the weapons. And same thing with this week's test server. I do not recall a paint job like that for the Hades at all. I could be wrong, but I just don't recall a paint job like that. Anyways, the next one we have here is the Blitz running the Sinister Halos, or is it Sinister Halos? I can't remember. I think it's Sinister Halos. But anyways, it just says Halos here. You look at the description, it just says Halo. That's not just a regular Halo. That being said, let's look at the paint jobs here for the Blitz. And this is a standard one. This is a Fury, which is supposed to be a darker blue. And actually, if you click on the Overseer, it goes back to, see, I'm going back for between the standard and the Overseer. The Overseer is actually a red paint job. So even though they have the paint job listed here, you can't actually select it. Now, that being said, you could never select it on the test servers because it was limited only to an actual operation. But you could at least click on it and see what the paint job looked like. Anyway, so we're going to equip the Flurry paint job here, just because I like to change the paint jobs to see what they look like. Like I said, these colors are just way too bright and a little washed out. The Fenrir. The Fenrir does not look like this as its standard model. So again, like the Hades, I don't know where this paint job is coming from. Is it a new paint job they're adding to it? Also, the Fenrir has several different paint jobs, and there are none listed here. You're just getting what they call as the standard one, but I know the Fenrir does not look like this as a standard model. At least, no. Maybe if they tone down the colors and stuff, maybe it might be a closer resemblance. But as it stands right now, the Fenrir does not look like that. And finally, oh yeah, and we are running Coronas and Glory. I forgot to mention there are the energy shotguns in this test server as well. And finally, we're running the Leech. This is running 4 igniters. Again, if you look at the paint jobs, like I said, way too bright and washed out. Especially when you go to the overhead view, just look at how much the light reflects off of that. I know they're trying to put in a light source above it. In standard graphical design and mechanics, when you're rendering stuff, the light does bounce and is supposed to reflect off of reflective surfaces. And that's what they're trying to do here. But it's a hangar, you're supposed to see the paint jobs in better detail. So I think they really need to tone that down a bit. Now, if we look at the Parasite, again, that's at least a little closer resemblance to what it is on the live server. But again, it's still a little too bright. And the Evo, like, that is just, it hurts my eyes to even look at it. It's just so bright. That paint job is not white on the regular server. It's more of a gray and reddish tinge to it. Kind of, basically, like it's a purplish gray, like it is on the Evo selection itself. Whereas if you compare that with what's on the actual Leech, it is not anywhere near close to what it looks like. Anyways, we're just going to run the standard one because it hurts my eyes to look at that Evo one. So, all right. So, besides that, let's just hop into a game. Hopefully, we'll get a match here, and we'll see how these perform. So, fingers crossed, we'll get a match quickly. Otherwise, I'm just going to pause it out, and I'll come back when we find a match. Wow, finally. Oh, come on. It's going to be a 1v1? Oh, good. I hope not. So, let's... You know what, let's start with the Hades. Very good. So it's going to be 6v6, I think. Hopefully. And we're on domination, okay? All right, so let's go over here to the right-hand side. And look, those are the halos. Now, I need to correct myself, because as I was waiting this obscene amount of time to get into a match, I said in the intro that they were the sinister halos, and they're not. They're the stellar halos. They came out with the event that had the stellar phantom. So I just want to correct myself there. Okay, so we have a Hades down here. I'm going to get into range here with my ability. Should be able to hit him with this built-in weapon as well. And I suck at aiming flames. That's pretty obvious. Okay. He's used his ability down there. Get my flames in there if I can. My sensitivity is way off. Should be dropping his shield there. And I can't even get a kill. Oh, there we go. Finally. Alright, so we got a Phantom coming in. Use my ability. I'm just about dead, though. Locked me down pretty good there. Alright, so let's look at the Blitz here. Oh, he had his shield up, so that did absolutely nothing. Man, I can't... My sensitivity is way off again, and unfortunately, like I've had to recently just keep uninstalling the test server. When you go to uninstall it, you lose your sensitivity settings. You know what? I've never been a fan of these effects on the Halo. Like, I didn't even damage his shield at all. So look, I wonder, does the Aegis shield have a bug that you can't bring it down? Because I should have at least did some damage to that. Well, no, his Aegis shield is going down. Is it just the Fenrir's one? Okay, let's use my ability here. He's going to lock onto me here in a second. No, I'm dead. Wow, we are getting our butts kicked here. So I'm going to try this Fenrir and see what happens. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm hitting him. See, look, he's not taking any damage. His shield is not dropping at all. There is a bug. Yeah, see, there's a bug. My shield's not going down either. I don't know if it's both Fenrirs or if it's just the Giftbringer Fenrir. This is horrible. You can't even test things properly. I'm going to try and get into his shield. There we go. I can at least do some damage to him. Alright. See, as long as I stay out of his range, you know, so that he can't get inside the shield. Yeah. Definitely a bug with the Giftbringer. I'll try the other one here in a second. I'm going to have to ditch this spot to try it because we're just about to lose. So let's try this. Does this one also have the bug? Okay, we got to get a beacon, but I'm not going to get here in time. But that's okay. I saw what I needed to see. And I would like to play another game, but I am not going to wait. I think it was 8 minutes for me to find this match. I'm not going to try to go into another match. Anyways, let's look at how we did. Oh yeah, well, 2 players didn't even really do anything, dropped out. 1 player in another team dropped out. Yeah, so there definitely is a bug with at least the Giftbringer Fenrir. So, yeah, that's not good. Beyond that, not much else really to say. Like, the bots look okay. The flame effects are okay. What I mentioned in the intro, I did find in gameplay the paint jobs were a little still too bright. See, how they look right now in the hangar is fine. You know, this is, to me, how they should look. But not when you go into the paint jobs. Like, compare the Hades to what it is like now. You see how much more bright it is here as compared to back in the hangar. See, it's more dark, and because it's more dark, the colors are more vibrant. But same thing with the gameplay. I found the gameplay, the paint jobs were a little too bright and need to be toned down a little bit. Beyond that, the effects were okay. I've never been a fan of the Stellar Halos to begin with and their effects and how they looked. But that's just my own personal, opinion. Everything else, looked okay. I didn't get a chance to run the leech, so I don't know how its ability worked. But I did get people leeching me, and seeing it seemed to work fine. The only bug I can see right now, at least this particular test server, is the Aegis shield on the Giftbringer Fenrir. Like I said, I don't know if it's the same bug on the regular Fenrir, but definitely the Giftbringer had that bug. Anyway, so those are my initial impressions. Pixelania does have some work left to do with this. I've said it for a number of testers now. I'm really concerned about the ability for people with older devices to run this game when this comes out. Like I've been on this game right now for 21 minutes, and I can already feel my OnePlus 7 Pro, that's what I'm running right now, is getting a little hot to the touch. More so than it does when I play on the live server. And this is the low performance version. So when they introduce the ultra version, I probably won't be running it on my device. I think it's going to eat up way too much power and make up my device way too hot. But on older devices, I'm sorry, I don't think this particular version, the low performance version, is going to work very well. I didn't get a chance this week to test it, but I'll test it next week on my older device again. But the choppiness, the lag I had on it previously, and the fact that my new device is running hot, leaves me with some concern for the older devices. But anyways, those are my initial thoughts. If you haven't liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps me out immensely. Consider subscribing. And until next time, cause some mayhem in the field for me.